dinosaurs still walk the earth? Maybe. There is a real possibility that this is partly true. I know how it sounds. It's fun to think about, but it's impossible to believe. So we are told. I mean, our entire lives, the narrative about dinosaurs has been their extinction via a meteor over 70 million years ago. But Christian, you have a different worldview. The Bible doesn't support this narrative we have been told about dinosaurs. Our scriptures tell us that the earth and everything on it was created in 6 days, and on the seventh day, God rested. We are told that God saved his creation on the ark during the flood. Yes, lots of creatures were killed during this event, possibly fossilizing them, but all of these creatures were spared, one of their kind. The text does not tell us that everything was saved except the dinosaurs. Therefore, after the flood, dinosaurs still existed. They still walked around. So what happened to them? Well, probably what happened to a lot of extinct animals. Humans. We kill things. We have hunted many creatures to extinction. Dinosaurs don't have to be any different. Let me give a brief side note before I run into the majority of this argument, trying to maintain academic integrity here. This is all speculation. I'm not saying that I have proof of T-Rex bone or living T-Rex out in the Amazon jungle or pterodactyls in Papua New Guinea. No, only that they could still be there. Few and far between, yes, but nonetheless, they might still be here. So let's speculate. Let's have a bit of fun. Will you come on this adventure with me? This is going to be so much fun. So let's just start with the biblical narrative. We already talked about this in the introduction. Let's kind of rehash a couple things real quick. There are two main things we need to think about. Number one, the creation story. Number two, the flood. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth and everything that we have here. In 1 week, God created the world, water, plants, trees, forest, all of that, and then he populated it with fish, with birds, with creatures, with animals, with dinosaurs. Dinosaurs were created along with everything else. God didn't create a super old world and have dinosaurs have their day 70 million years ago, and then like 6,000 years ago, he created everything else. No, God created dinosaurs the same time that he created everything else. Dinosaurs were in the Garden of Eden. That's crazy, right? And so they were dinosaurs, people, everything, same time, okay? Now the flood happened. If you attended Sunday school, you know exactly what happened during the flood. People's wickedness exceeded everything. Their evil hearts were only evil continually. They were utterly depraved people. And so God punished his creation. He punished man by sending a flood to wipe out everything. But he told Noah, Noah was a righteous man. He selected Noah and his family to be the next Adam and Eve, to carry on this next few people who would, of course, populate the earth and so forth. And he told Noah to get 2 of every animal, or 2 of every unclean animal, and 7 different pairs of every clean animal. But he told Noah to grab all of these animals. He didn't say, and not the dinosaurs. He didn't say, grab the dogs and the cats, grab the cattle, but leave out the T-Rex because he's too vicious. No, he said, get all of these animals. And so all the animals, every single animal, including dinosaurs, were put on the ark and carried to this new land. Now, floodwaters rose, the ark rose with it, dinosaurs in the ark, the water subsided, dinosaurs got off the ark, and they're with people. So, we have dinosaurs created with everything else. We have, after the flood, dinosaurs being with everybody else. Okay, that kind of sets up the stage. It's point number 1, the biblical narrative about the creation of everything, dinosaurs included. Part 2 is that they're just part of our history. We have dinosaurs in our history. From Egypt to Cambodia. In the Bible, we have dinosaurs everywhere. And I'm not saying that they have been overlooked or that modern scientists are trying to hide these facts from us. No, that's crazy. But what I am saying is that these things look a lot like dinosaurs, and they might be dinosaurs. So starting with just the easiest example that I have, there are possibly pictures of sauropod dinosaurs, sauropods being the long-necked big ones, you know, like the Diplodocus or the Titanosaurus that was in the new Jurassic World movie. There are pictures of sauropods on a very famous artifact from Egypt's history. It's called the Narmer Palette. The Narmer Palette was created roughly soon after the flood, right around like 2300 BC. It depicts King Narmer, who is the first king of Upper and Lower Egypt, so the first king to unite both parts of Egypt. And this is kind of like what kicks off Egypt's united history. So Egypt existing, you know, as a country for nearly 3,000 years, this is where it starts. Starts with the Narmer Palette. It's a very, very famous artifact. On the front of the palette, you have King Narmer wearing his crown. Is the crown of Upper Egypt and the crown of Lower Egypt, which signifies that he's wearing both crowns, Upper and Lower Egypt, of course. Very cool. But on the back of the palette, it's very interesting. We have two giant sauropod dinosaurs being wrangled by humans. They've got leashes and everything. It's really cool. You should look up a picture of it after this. This is amazing. But we have, in Egypt, discovered sauropod bones. These fossils are everywhere in Egypt. We know that we find the bones of these creatures in Egypt, and we have pictures of these depictions of these creatures with human beings around roughly the same time after the flood. Coincidence? I think not. I think it works together really well. Secondly, I mean, I kind of hate saying it, but dragons. Come on, guys. Dragons are everywhere. We see consistently throughout people's mythos dragons. The Chinese people have dragons. The medieval people have dragons. The Native Americans even have dragons. Everybody has dragons. Why can't dragons be dinosaurs? They just might be. Thirdly, ever heard of Behemoth? In Job, in the book of Job, Job was written roughly the same time that Abraham was alive. So Abraham, one of the first patriarchs that we have in scripture in Genesis, you know, Abraham had many sons. You know the story. Job lived around the same time that Abraham did. So this is roughly like 2200 BC. We have this dinosaur. God said that he created Behemoth. He has a tail like a cedar tree. He's got a long neck. He eats grass. God describes this behemoth thing, and it is almost exactly like a sauropod. Why can't it be a sauropod? I've heard other arguments saying that this was just a figure of speech, or that this was an elephant. Elephants don't have tails like cedar trees. Come on, guys. So we have, number one, sauropods in Egypt. We've got dragons. We've got the behemoth in Job. And lastly, but certainly not least, around the 13th and 14th century, there were carvings made that look surprisingly like a Stegosaurus out in Cambodia. And where have we found Stegosaurus fossils? In Cambodia. It's at the Ta Prohm Temple in Angkor, Siem Reap province of Cambodia. They're from the 13th to 14th century. So around this time, Stegosaurus is probably still interacting with people. Dinosaurs are a part of our history. We can't deny this. And then, if that wasn't enough, I got some scientific proof for you to back this all up. Number one, dinosaur soft tissue and carbon-14 dating. What are all those things? I had to look them up myself. Dinosaur soft tissue. So, very recently, in 2005, dinosaur soft tissue was found in a fossil. What's dinosaur soft tissue? Well, we have to look at what the fossilization process actually is. So, fossil or bone, dead animal thing, compressed with dirt. The bone, roughly, the hard parts of the bone stay, but the soft parts get replaced by minerals over time. In actuality, this is supposed to take place over roughly like 900,000 years to become complete. So there's no soft tissue to be found after 1,000,000 years. After 1,000,000 years, there should be no soft tissue at all. So why even look for it? Well, a real paleontologist, not someone like me, pseudo-paleontologist who's just really interested in this stuff. A real paleontologist discovered this by accident. She accidentally dissolved away the hard parts of the fossil and found this sticky substance. What is this sticky substance? Well, upon closer examination, she found that it was blood vessels. She found that it was calcium from the bones. This wasn't supposed to be there. This is a fossil. This was 70 million years old. This was found out in Montana where all the T-Rexes were. This was the T-Rex bone. Well, now we have soft tissue. She published her findings in a paper. Nobody believed her. So many of her colleagues did their own experimentations. Over 70 tests were conducted, each one resulting in the fact that there is soft tissue in these dinosaur bones. They don't know how. We might know how. Dinosaurs are not that old. Duh. Okay, next, carbon-14. Now this one's a little tricky to wrap your head around. Carbon-14 exists in everything, basically. And once things get to a certain age, there should be no more carbon-14 left in their system. So kind of like with dinosaur soft tissue, they thought that since dinosaurs are so old, there was no soft tissue. They also thought since dinosaurs are so old, there would be no carbon-14 left in their fossils. So why even test? Well, we started sending dinosaur bones in to be tested for carbon-14 to see if it is still in their system, and lo and behold, it is in most fossils. So kind of crazy there, right? So we have carbon-14 and dinosaur soft tissue in these fossils, which prove that they're not that old. They're not 70 million years old. They're relatively recent, which makes our theory less crazy. So, in conclusion, we don't need to be afraid of having so-called weird beliefs about dinosaurs. We have great evidence that dinosaurs once walked with man, and that they still might, though few and far between. From the biblical narrative, the creation story and the flood, we see that God created these creatures just like the rest. At that time, a T-Rex was as common as a dog or a cat. We can look back and point to specific elements in our history and say that that probably was a dinosaur. Maybe not certainly, but probably was a dinosaur. We can look to the Narmer Palette in Egypt or the Ta Prohm Temple in Cambodia and see that not too long ago, these creatures interacted with people like you and me. And if that didn't do it for you, the existence of soft tissue in dinosaurs as well as carbon-14 did. A clear line of evidence leading to a much shorter timeline than the millions of years we are fed to believe. That sounded kind of conspiracy theorist right there. But just keep speculating, keep dreaming, keep thinking, and don't be afraid to have a weird opinion about something, as long as you've got a leg to stand on.